Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for Robot Spirits or Robot Damashii, and we have number 192, RX-78-2 Gundam, and this is the anime version. Now there's a lot of hype on this one, and I'm actually quite excited for this as well. I still remember the RX-78 Robot Damashii I have with the hard points. That one's a bit rigid, and it does have a lot of holes in it, which is supposed to let you connect a lot of like accessories, but at the same time it's unsightly without them. So hoping that this one will be a better Gundam. That's a figure. Here we go. On the side here, it does offer quite a bit of accessories and gimmicks, which is a plus. I like that. On the back side, we have a bit of the film strip from the original anime. I believe that's the 0079. And I haven't seen that anime though. It's one of those that's kind of hard to watch the older series. Although I did mostly I watched the more recent Gundam series, and I'll leave it at that. Sometimes the Gundam anime is kind of hard to get into, but I do like the merchandise it comes with, the mold kits, the figures. Moving on, we have another side here for the figure. The top, not so much. And on the back, or the bottom, sorry. Got mine from Tatsu Hobby. I'll provide the link down below if you are interested. Let's take a look inside. Alright, so we have the figure here, and the first thing you've noticed, or we noticed, is the eyes. It's painted in that golden yellow. That's really cool. I like that. Now looking at the other color scheme of this, it's quite nice. I like it. And it is similar to the anime. And we have the black on the vents here, which is nice. The camera, or the forehead camera right there, is painted red. Even the Vulcans are painted yellow. On the back side, yeah, it's quite nice. And it does look quite clean too. But there are even molds here. Not sure if it'll show well on the camera. There we go, you see that? That's little details. Even on the shoulder, those little dents there. It's quite nice. Maybe adding a bit of a panel lining here will help get those details stand out. Alright, so let's start with the VFin. There's a really cool gimmick with the Vulcans. So first we gotta remove this VFin, and you gotta be careful. It is the hard plastic, so you gotta just wiggle it out. And you get this one here, which is actually a clear plastic they painted on. Kind of cool. So this one just pegs in here. There we go. I just push it in. There's really no good place to hold it. Actually, this one is very flexible. You can see that the VFin moving about. So it's that rubbery. And which is a good thing. I kind of wish they've done that with this, or they give you a separate one that is flexible. I prefer having that, and kind of gives you a little bit of reassurance that you're not gonna break it. But anyways, this is a nice effect, having those Vulcans. Really nice. Alright, so that's that, and let's go over articulation. Alright, so going over the articulation, we start with the neck here. So for the neck, you gotta be really careful for this VFin here. It's that hard plastic, so make sure you kind of hold it right, the center, so you can rotate it to the side. It's a little stiff, and you can even look down, and he can look fairly up. So that's quite nice for certain poses. And it's actually kind of interesting what they did. On the back side, this part here is actually fixed. And there seems to be kind of like a hinge system going on there. So that's really cool. Now moving on, while we're on the backpack, it just pops in, pegged in right there. There seems to be a connection right there. Not too sure what it does. It looks like it's a hinge. Now for the shoulder, it's pegged in on that blue joint for the elbow. I'm hoping that joint will stay. Feels like if you move this enough, might break. I kind of wish it was a double joint, but that's that. So you do have fairly good articulation with that one, and you do have a bicep swivel, an elbow bend that's fairly good. You get that 180 right there, forearm swivel as well, and you got your wrist joint. I don't think you can move this, but yeah, sometimes they do have that extra wrist joint for holding the cannon. Maybe they'll get away with it with a variety of hands. So the arm articulation is really nice. Now moving on to the torso over here, I don't think you can really have the up crunch. Well, actually, well, there we go. It's a little bit till you pop it off. Yeah. So something tells me this might be, we can even maybe swap this on a gun cannon once that comes out. So it's easy peg connection right there for the waist. So you can probably play around with that joint right there. It does have quite a bit of a segment there on the red part for him to have, you know, certain poses. So that's that. Moving on, we have like a really interesting gimmick here. So the forearm, you can actually collapse it in. So that's really cool. You can collapse that, and you can have a cross arm almost. Well, actually it is, and especially this will be helpful for holding the beam saber with both hands, and or among other things. So that's really cool for that articulation, and you can always pop it back out. There we go. Really nice. I like that. Alright, looking on the front skirt here, they're connected separately, which is always nice. There we go. And we have the side skirt here. It's actually connected on the back skirt. You see that, I'm not sure if you can actually see that, but there is that circular part there which connects this. And back skirt is always, yeah, it doesn't do much. There is a bit of a connection here, which actually will go later on, and that's basically for holding the cannon or the bazooka. And moving on, we have the waist here, and you have that hinge which allows it to move up. It kind of looks weird having that swivel joint right there, but in terms of articulation, you get a lot more with that. So that's great. There we go. You got your thigh swivel right there. And on to the knee, actually it's double jointed. And I like how when you bend that, you know, a bit of extra stuff comes out. And that's a fairly good knee bend right there. Yeah, touches all the way to the butt. So that's a lot of cool enduring right there. And what else we got here? Also have the ankle here. And let's see how this ankle is. So we get this connection only onto the inside part. Then I believe you have this hinge right here to allow you to tilt the ankle. So you're kind of like this. That's always nice. Yeah, it's really cool. So you get joint here on top of the foot, and you have that swivel right there. You can rock that ankle. Yeah, this is really nice for that articulation right there. And I think that's pretty much it for articulation. Now let's go over the different gimmicks and accessories. Alright, so we have the hand rack here. And it's quite nice. And it seems like you can even stack this with the other ones as they come out. Now for this one, we have the open hands. Now you have this stylized pose. Maybe, you know, we have the other hand. You're trying to get ready to strike someone or something like that. Then you have your trigger finger hands right here. And you have another one, and this is kind of like an angled one to hold the beam saber right there. Because the one you have, you can also use that to hold the beam saber, but this is just more not angled basically. And there's no closed fist. And to be honest, you don't really need a closed fist. You can just use this one for him to punch. And I always find that closed fist a bit weird because it's a little bit more like this, and sometimes on some figures it looks really thin. It's like they're holding it like this, which is weird. So this seems like more like it. So this is nice. Alright, so that's the variety of hands. Great, so next part is the beam saber right here. So we'll just pop that out. Here we go. And this one just slides in. There we go. So for this, you do have two effect parts, one for each, and just pegs it right there. There we go. It's quite long. It's quite nice. Otherwise, they do give you an extended, or kind of, it's a really long one. And I guess sometimes in anime, it does get exaggerated, and that's actually good to have. So we can take this out. There we go. Use this one. Likewise, you can put this on. Or, they do give you this angled one right here. So let's put that on. Just slide this in here. There we go. And maybe we can even have him hold it with both hands right here. Which is probably what is intended for that collapsing torso. I'm getting tongue-tied lately. Sorry about that. Torso! And, it's like the other one. This is actually my first time putting this on. Gotta break it in somehow. There we go. Alright. So I'll put this on here. And you got that angled beam, which is nice for slashing down Zeon mobile suits. There we go. So that's really cool. I like that. They're able to do that. Alright. I would highly recommend to always remove the effect part whenever you put it on or off. Just because you never know when your other finger goes or presses. You might end up breaking that peg connection. Yep. Anyways, that's that part. Maybe, you're kind of curious, can you even put this on here? Yes, you can. It just looks a little weird to have that. Alright, so moving on, let's try out the bazooka. Alright, so for the bazooka right here, here we go. There's some moving parts here, but I think that's it. Even detach this, no, it's kind of like a solid base, but you're able to remove this handle here. Now for this, we're gonna be using probably this one here. There we go. So we're just gonna slide this in here somehow. There we go. All right. So let's swap this hand right here. There we go. Quite easy. Pop this in and kind of just angle it. Maybe like so. I think that's good. And you have your bazooka. Quite nice. And some of you are probably wondering, what if you want two bazookas? I'm actually kind of curious if they're gonna have an add-on. They did it with the first Gundam, where you can buy an add-on set, I believe. Or actually, it comes with that particular figure kit, where you can have double of everything. I think that's kind of like a limited release. So that'll be interesting if they have an add-on if you want to double up your arsenal. So that's that for this bazooka. Oh, it's actually they've put a hole in there. Maybe you could put some effect parts on that one as well. Alright, moving on. The next one is a rifle, and it does have some details, which is quite nice. The scope is painted. You can move this around, even the scope. There we go. So grabbing your Gundam, put this on here, slide trigger finger, and there you go. Quite nice. And we could probably hold it with both hands. Well, probably not with this one. Looking here, actually this might be it. I was wondering what to use for that. Maybe we can use this particular hand right here. And probably best to put this on here first. Although you got this little thing that I wonder if it will clear that. Close enough. Alright, there we go. Just realign it again. Again, that torso joint, you're allowed to swivel in. It's really nice. And just get this thing here somehow. There we go. Can maybe tilt his head a little bit. And there you go. It's more natural. Oh. It looks good though. Again, I really like that torso articulation there. Yeah, that's nice. You can hold it quite easily. Right, so there's also an added gimmick. So they give you this effect part. This is a little different than the beam saber one. I'm thinking maybe you can use the same one, maybe. Yes, you can. But I believe this is for the rifle, which is connected here, and kind of gives you that effect of shooting out. It is a laser rifle, and that's quite nice as well. So I'm kind of curious. Just put this one just for the heck of it. Why not? And there you go. You can. And maybe you have an arcing laser rifle. Why not? There we go. So yeah, that's quite nice for the effect. And speaking of which, there is another cool effect that I've been waiting for them to make. The Trustor Effect parts right here. Now this one just pegs in right here. And I think you can swivel this around, or depending on that angle. So it is angled. You're well, it kind of gives you a little bit of flexibility where you want the thrusters. If you want to like shifting to the left here, or to the right, or just want it like straight, or even maybe straight down. You have to kind of just play around with that peg. Oh, this one's too low though, so probably just straight back there. But yeah, that effect part is quite nice, and I like how they've it's a clear plastic, I believe, and they painted the blue a bit more towards the end there. So that's a really nice gimmick. And there's also an option to put this on the, let me just pop this out. And you can even put this on the foot here. Actually, I forgot to mention, there is a toe articulation. There we go. Yeah, I'm actually kind of want to buy more of this. Just because it feels like you need more of this effect parts here. Yeah, I mean, you can even double up the weapons, so you know, that's something to consider, having another RX-78. And it's a Gundam. It's a nice figure to have, even having duplicates of it. So there you go. That's really nice. And last but not the least, let's take a look at the shield. Now for this shield, it's kind of interesting what they have here. I think sometimes they have this thing painted. Well, I guess not on this one. But you have the cross here. You got the white trim, which is nice. And it seems like there's some kind of peg connection here. I'm not sure. I was looking at the instruction. It didn't really tell us what you can put here. But on the back side, there is a connection that you can use for this, and you can even put the rifle there as well. Yep, like a way to stash it, like we're right here, where he can. There we go, and or actually maybe it's on this way or something. So you have a way to stash your gun there, and I believe this one right here is to hold that shield right there. So you have this handle right here. Yep. Actually, let me put on the Gundam. Alright, so here we go. Putting this on. Let's see how well this works. And I always have that problem putting it in. Gotta squeeze that out, or squeeze that in, and there we go. Although be careful putting that on though, you get that little gap there. There we go. Huh. Having a little difficulty there. So you get the shield with the rifle and can reach it in and grab the rifle from there. So this is really nice, having that option there. You could probably reenact a lot of the scenes from the show. And there you go. Alright, so there's also other configuration to connect this shield. So other than what we have now, we can take this out. And it seems to be stuck. Managed to free that thing somehow. Alright, so we have this. And this one is right there, or for that center connection right there. You're gonna have to push it in, and it's one of those, it's a ball joint, and you gotta push it in really good. There we go. It's a nice snap. Move to the side here, and this is the connection for that forearm right there. And there we go. Actually, before I put that on there, you may want to remove this. It kind of gives a little bit more. There we go. So now we have more space. Put that in. And it is a ball joint, so you do have a little bit of free leeway there. And this is not a sliding part. It would be nice if it was. That way we can have him hold it as well. But there we go. Now you have the shield on the forearm. Quite nice. And also you can attach this on the back side as well. So there we go. Same connection. I wish it was magnet. Actually, I could probably modify it with magnets, but this works. And now we have it on the back right here. On that same note, well, we're doing all this connection now. So there is this part here which I have a little bit of difficulty getting out. There we go. Right, and you have this connector part right here. You slide that in. Actually, I'm not too sure how well this is gonna go, but it's supposed to be like this. I'm not gonna put it all the way in, but this is for the cannon, or I'm calling this a cannon, but the bazooka. And there we go. I guess you can put everything, well, we have to push that in, but I'll leave it at that. And put the shield back here. So yeah, it's quite nice. This is a really nice set for the RX-78. And definitely a must for robot Damashii collectors out there. This is quite a bit of an improvement from the first one. And you're getting quite a bit of an accessories here. Actually, I'm kind of curious now. Nope. Actually, a rocket is supposed to, or yeah, the bazooka is supposed to come out of there. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this review. Hope you guys like it. And yeah, again, definitely a recommended figure to have. Articulation is awesome. Accessories great. And I don't think there's really much of concern here. Yeah, overall, really great figure. Anyways, that's about it for this review. Hope you guys like it. Again, I got my from Thoughts of Hobby. And that's about it. So until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching. Almost forgot something. Alright, so on the right, we have the hummable RX-78 Gundam. And this is probably closest to the anime version before we have the robot Damashii. And I'd like to thank a good friend of mine, Kate, for introducing me to this hummable Gundam. And I did review this, if you are curious. And it's quite nice. But if I have to pick between the two, I would still pick the RX-78 robot Damashii. Because you're just getting quite a bit more on that particular figure than hummable. But anyways, if you're curious what it looks like side by side, here we go. And I think that's it.